I was brought up in Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, in the mining area. In that environment, I was taught to work hard and really just look for the opportunities. My parents were very, very focused on school. Education gives the opportunity to get up in the morning and enjoy what you do, and that sort of underpinned everything. I went to med school in 1975, and really in the first sort of few days, I think it might have even been the first day, we were introduced to the anatomy class, where people have very generously given their bodies to science so that myself and all my peers would be able to learn the art and the science of the anatomy of the human body. And I was sold, done, that is it. If a surgeon puts this back together, this is exquisite, that's what I will be. And I think I must be either really boring or very fortunate that I'm very focused, whichever lens you put on that, because I've stayed the same since 1975, and it's been the focus ever since then. But then I've been very, very privileged to work in an environment where, both from a clinical team and a research team, I work with people that are extraordinary and focused and just great to be around and solve problems with. But that whole package is focused on them, the group of people that we treat. And then you think of the system, the circumstances. And there are times in my life where the circumstances have been in that perfect storm kind of space, and where I think, wow, did that really just happen? And being Australian of the Years was one of those, like, wow, did that really just happen? Yeah, so those circumstances as well. So there's the people and then the circumstance. And we've just had the 20-year anniversary of Bali, and that's harder to talk about as each year goes by. I think any problem that I learned a lot, as you can imagine, you learn a lot about yourself in these extreme circumstances. And if you've planned and you're trained, then that is your privilege to use the training. Because I say to the youngsters, you may think you did all the hard work, but it's actually, you're training in a system that has been facilitated for decades, hundreds of years. And it's been facilitated by your family, and so there's a level of obligation and responsibility to give back here. This privileged education is useless unless you use it. So it was a privilege to be able to enact a plan that was based on a lot of thought and practice and working how to do better, and then standing back and thinking, well, okay, if we were to do this, how would we refine it again? So all that constant learning, all the time. I think my fundamental belief of going to the table, learning from today to make tomorrow better, puts you at the edge of knowledge. I think one of the most important things in what we do is recognizing the need to do better. I learned very early, when I was at medical school, that there's a lot of people that will make comment without engagement in problem solving. There are people who told me that because I was a woman from a Yorkshire mining village, I could not be a surgeon. Well, and I thought, well, what do I do here? Where do I go? Clearly, there was absolutely no point in engaging in conversation with this person, because they're not my tribe, because they have no capacity for original thought. And so I'd walk on by. And so I think as I went forward, I've coped with the criticism here and there, and by just walking on by, look, fine. And I will engage in problem solving, I will engage in criticism with problem solving, we will work out the evidence and work together, and that's absolutely life's blood. But I will not engage in people that have such a narrow-scoped view that all they can see is no. If we all said yes, and then let's work out how to make this happen, Or let's interrogate that, work out that it's a rubbish idea and fine. But if we say no, what we do to that young person often is we leave them floundering with an idea like flapping like a fish on the jetty, you know. Whereas if we said, yeah, I don't know about that, but I think someone over here may know about it. Or, yeah, let's have a think about that. Let's have a coffee over that. Or somebody, hey, have you heard this idea? Can you just take that on? If we said yes, there's a whole society, rather than a default no, we would generate energy, we would generate solutions, and we generate goodwill and collaboration. And so I think let's take the no off the table altogether, and let's actually just say yes, and then there's the but. How are we going to make this work? How are we going to explore the boundaries together?